our organisation, the P-Valuables, has done some in-depth analysis for the FGP loyalty program. The P-Valuables aim was to find out who the customers are that are the most valuable to each merchant member, as well as to provide some guidance for future expansions if Jennifer would like to go ahead and do that. So we identified 3 key questions that we'd like to look into, one of which is there a demand for the program now and will there be a demand in the future? 2, what customers are the most valuable to each merchant member? And 3, what leads to customers terminating their existing membership? Now, in order to find the answers for these 3 questions, we used the following methodologies. 1, t-test was used to analyse whether there was a significant difference between the means of 2 different populations. 2, regressional analysis was used to understand how 2 different independent variables will affect dependent variables. 3 was we also used binary logistic regression to analyse the odds of the customer actually staying in the current program. Now, let's have a look at question 1. Is there a demand for the program? We'll be looking at this from both a current standpoint as well as a future standpoint. So looking at this in current time, we can see that the total points that were earned and the total points that were redeemed went up in each single quarter from quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was shown using a regression analysis. In this one, we can see that the average sales have also gone up in each quarter. Not only that, but we can see that in 2016, in quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, the total of sales will also increase using the current regression analysis. And that's just provided that everything stays equal, touch wood. This means that in the future, there is a 178% increase in the amount of points redeemed on year according to the equation derived from the trend line.
Question 2. Which customers are the most valuable to the program? In order to answer this question, we need to know what variables lead to being valuable. First, we have identified points redeemed as a variable and also net promoter. Points redeemed is a valuable measure because having points redeemed allows us to know that customers are enjoying the loyalty program as they are utilizing the points that they have earned. Not only that, by calculating total points redeemed, we also know that customers have an incentive to stay within the program because they would be missing out on the potential redeemed points if they were to leave. In order to identify which gender is most valuable based on points redeemed, we have utilized a t-test. This t-test result shows a p-value of 0.00. This means that there is a significant difference between males and females. On average, males have a redeemed points spent of 1,023.88, and females have a redeemed points average spent of 599.81. In addition, you can see in this pie chart here that males account for total redeemed points of 61% of all data, and females account for 39% of all data. Next, for net promoter, we can see that there is a relationship between net promoter satisfaction of fast food, petrol, and groceries. This regression test shows that 40% of the explanation of net promoter, satisfaction of net promoter, is explained by these variables. Since we know that net promoter is a valuable variable to calculate, because net promoter means that positive word of mouth. Having free publicity is beneficial to the program. Therefore, we have decided to identify which gender is more likely to promote. Based on this t-test, we can see a p-value of 0.00. This means that there is a significant difference between females and males. On average, females have a net promoter score of 6.87 compared to males of 4.99. There is a significant difference between these averages. This means that females are more likely to promote the program. Question 3. What leads to customers terminating their membership? From the t-test above, we can see that satisfaction program, satisfaction fast food, petrol, net promoter, and card have a significant difference between whether the members are active in 2016 or whether they have left in 2016. We can see that the average mean of satisfaction and fast food and petrol and groceries, net promoter, as well as card, that it is greater compared to not active. This means that customers who have stayed in the program are overall more satisfied and more willing to promote and have a higher likelihood of having a credit card. Next, we have run a binary logistic regression. This binary logistic regression has a 78.5% accuracy to predict that 14% of consumers would leave the program. Next, we can see from the logistic regression that gender, credit card, car, whether they own a car, total number of sales, satisfaction with fast food, satisfaction with petrol, as well as net promoter are the biggest influence in whether customers remain active in 2016.
After taking these findings into account, there are a number of recommendations that the P-Valuables would like to put forward to Jennifer. Our first regression measured member satisfaction of each of the merchant members against their Net Promoter Score. This revealed that satisfaction with petrol was the main driver for willingness to promote out of the three chains. This finding informs our recommendation that Jennifer should be targeting petrol consumers with bonus loyalty point promotions, which will in turn increase satisfaction and lead to a higher willingness to promote the loyalty program between the members and their friends, family, and colleagues. Furthermore, after analysing results from the t-test, it became evident that females scored significantly higher than their male counterparts when it came to Net Promoter Scores. We recommend that the loyalty program should implement an online social media campaign coupled with print advertisements in predominantly female skewing publications. Looking from a different perspective, males accounted for an astounding 61% of all loyalty points redeemed in 2015. This may suggest that males are more engaged with the reward side of the program, and therefore we recommend pushing a larger range of male-orientated offerings and adding a new merchant to the loyalty program that aligns with male interests, whether this be automotive, travel, or sporting goods. The data for 2015 also revealed that 0% of people redeemed points at the grocery store. This is in comparison to the 188,000 points that were redeemed at the petrol chain and the 331,000 points that were redeemed at the fast food chain. This finding is significant as it highlights the huge disparity between the three merchant members and suggests that the grocery store is piggybacking off the other two members. To combat this imbalance, we strongly recommend running more in-store promotions to drive awareness amongst consumers that they are able to redeem their points inside the grocery store. There are many limitations we encountered in our research project. The first limitation we encountered was access to sales data. When calculating spending habits amongst consumers, we were limited as we could only draw information from sales data collected in 2015. A second limitation was the omission of initial membership cost. Without this figure, we were unable to conduct an accurate consumer lifetime value calculation. A third limitation was an incomplete data set, with many birth years registered as not applicable. The final limitations were, of course, human errors and the data set provided to us. It would have been greatly beneficial if we could have undertaken research such as asking open-ended descriptive questions to find out from our consumers what they actually liked and disliked about the FGP loyalty program.
From everyone here at the P-Valuables, we'd like to say thank you, Jennifer, for listening to our presentation. I hope that this research was beneficial to you, and I hope we can also maybe do some more research into some open-ended questions to find out about the merchant members and what consumers like, what they don't like, and help you with your expansion and just to make it as great as possible for you. Thank you.